Hey guys, the first thing I want to talk about is the match between Go Shiozaki and Kensuke Sasaki. This actually took place during Pro Wrestling Noah's 10th anniversary show. If some of you guys might know, AMC N1 did a review of the show and he uploaded it on his channel. So I just want to thank him for letting us all know about this great match and supposedly a pretty good show. I mean, I haven't went and watched the Marufuji match or the Marufuji tag match and some of the other matches, but I did see the main event. The main event is definitely worth checking out. I would say it's definitely maybe one of the top 10, 15 matches of the year, in my opinion. I wasn't as high on it as he was. He actually gave it 5 stars and thought it was the match of the year. I wouldn't go that far, but I thought it was still really, really good. I'd probably go about 4.5. I'm just not that big of a fan of Kensuke Sasaki, but I will give him credit. He's been wrestling for a while, and he could still definitely go. But the actual match was really, really fun. There was a great comeback from Shiozaki. If you want a more detailed review of it, watch his review and definitely check out the match. You get to see one of the best matches of the year here for free on YouTube, so definitely check it out. So I'll have a link to that in the description. But yeah, I want to talk about Ring of Honor's Buffalo Stampede 2 show. This is actually a bonus show on the Death Before Dishonor 8 release. Death Before Dishonor 8 is out already on DVD. Everyone go buy it. Obviously, the show was tremendous. Haven't got around to watching the pay-per-view yet, but I checked out Buffalo Stampede 2, and I hate to say it, but I kind of expected this show to be weak, and it definitely was weak. Obviously, the show wasn't going to sell on its own, so I think this is a smart decision from Ring of Honor from a financial standpoint. Um, I think the problem with it was the location. Buffalo hasn't gotten a Ring of Honor show in a while. I believe since the first Buffalo Stampede show from October of 2005. Actually, this is kind of ironic because Steve Corino was actually in the main event of that show as well, and he's in the main event of this show against Tyler Black. But yeah, I just get the feeling that the Rochester, Buffalo area is very unfamiliar with the independent scene right now. They're so isolated from everything. That Western New York area is definitely like a world of its own over there. It's so out there. But yeah, I don't know. This crowd just definitely sucked. I mean, it was definitely just another bad crowd, and I felt like the wrestling on this show deserved a lot more respect than it got. I just felt like it deserved a little bit better overall reaction than it got for the whole show. But let's just break it down. I'll just talk about some of the highlights from the show. Actually, I'm not going to break it down match by match. We had Eddie Edwards versus Tyson Dukes, a 10-minute hunt. Edwards, like I said plenty of times before, I really like what they're doing with Eddie Edwards, letting him go out there and kind of do what Kurt Angle did in 2004, just putting out open challenges and having his own 10-minute hunt. I definitely think it adds a lot to his character, it makes him look a little bit more credible. Like I said in the past, and Tyson Dukes actually cut a good promo before this match, talked about how he's paid his dues in the wrestling business. He's been wrestling for a while. He wrestled in TNA, wrestling in WWE. Probably is like a jobber or something like that. I haven't followed his career, but yeah, he has a lot of talent. Him and Edwards worked a pretty solid match here. This is one of the brightest spots on the show, and I thought the stuff between them and the Gauntlet the following night at Death Before Dishonor was probably the highlight of the Gauntlet. So some more good stuff between them. It lasted about 10 minutes. It pretty much ended right before the 10-minute time limit expired. So definitely check that out. We had Roderick Strong versus Pee Wee. Davey Richards could not make this show. I can't remember why, but he just couldn't make it. Roderick had like his generic squash match against Pee Wee. Just really nothing to talk about there. The match of the night was actually Kings of Wrestling versus Cheech and Claudio. Cheech and Claudio was really, really impressive. There was a lot of beautiful reversals and a lot of great counters in this match. I really, really enjoyed it. It just didn't get the reaction that it deserved. I feel like this could have, hit the 4-star level if they just had more of a crowd to feed off of. But yeah, seriously, this crowd just sucked. They should never go to Buffalo again after this. But yeah, like I said, this is the match of the night by far. Next up, we had Austin Aries and Kenny Omega. This match was good. Omega cut a really, really good promo before the match. He talked about how he's becoming a little bit disconnected with North American wrestling because he's spending so much time wrestling in Japan. Pretty much talked about what we talk about on YouTube all the time, referring to Kenny Omega. But yeah, this is kind of a rematch from the Omega effect. Omega wanted to avenge his loss from Aries, his Ring of Honor World Title shot against Aries, and yeah, the actual match was good. And once again, it just didn't get going. They didn't have any crowd to feed off of. But the action was pretty good though. Aries hit a heat-seeking missile. Omega did 2 Kreutz Rats, which got 2 great near falls. So it was a solid match. Just kind of disappointing considering with talent involved. Next up, we got the Briscoes versus the All Night Express, Kenny King and Rhett Titus. Not that great of a match. I mean, they had a much better match at Supercard of Honor. Pretty solid stuff, but nothing memorable. Maybe like 2.5 stars or 2 3/4 stars. And then the main event was Tyler Black versus Steve Corino. The actual match was nothing memorable, but there were some good things about it. I liked the promo beforehand with Steve Corino. Corino did a beautiful job of putting over Kevin Steen and setting up the Kevin Steen Tyler Black Ring of Honor World Title match, which would take place in Chicago. Excellent heel work from Steve Corino on the mic. Corino was awesome on the mic for this show. Just excellent heel work. I mean, basically the story of the match was that Corino's out of shape, has been, but no matter what, no matter who he's facing, he's going to be around. He's even going to outlast Tyler Black as far as his wrestling career. When it's all said and done, we're going to look back and say Steve Corino was definitely more of a god than Tyler Black was. That was pretty much the promo that Steve Corino cut before the match, which I really enjoyed. But basically, Tyler Black got his generic win. Basically, Tyler Black said after the match he wrestled Steve Corino, who was a shell of his former self. He said he felt like he was wrestling a ghost out there. So once again, like I said, this is pretty much just done to set up a Tyler Black Kevin Steen match down the road, and I thought they did a beautiful job of setting that match up. But overall the show was pretty weak. I'll probably give it maybe a 6.5. I mean, the wrestling is pretty good on the show. There's definitely some bright spots, but as an overall show, it definitely would have sold. So definitely, Ring of Honor made the right decision by putting this as a bonus disc for the Death Before Dishonor DVD release. So that's pretty much it. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. All right, take it easy.